While the bright lights of the Vegas Strip usually celebrate the loud and the flashy, a quiet, barefoot 20-year-old just proved that raw talent is still the ultimate jackpot. Reporting live from the entertainment capital, industry insiders are reeling after Angelina Jordan's recent unfiltered residency at the historic Westgate. This wasn't just another concert series, it was a calculated strike against the current state of the music industry. Witnesses claim that during her rendition of Unchained Melody, the audio engineers were instructed to turn off all reverb and pitch correction, leaving Jordan's voice completely naked in a room that once housed Elvis Presley. This exposed vocal style has sent shockwaves through social media, with fans claiming it's a direct middle finger to the fake autotune stars dominating the charts today. However, the move has also sparked intense speculation. Critics are asking why a young star would take such a massive risk with her reputation. Is she trying to prove she's the last authentic artist left, or is this a desperate attempt to distance herself from the child prodigy label that has followed her since she was 7? The tension in the room was palpable as she hit notes that seemed to defy human anatomy, leaving the audience in a state of stunned silence. This isn't just a comeback, it's a total reimagining of what a modern vocal powerhouse looks like. As the clips from these performances continue to go viral, the pressure is mounting for her to return to the televised stage, but sources close to the singer suggest she's finished with the talent show circuit for good. The mystery of her next move is only growing. What kind of artist walks away from a multi-million-dollar contract with the world's biggest record label just as they're reaching the peak of their fame? That is the question currently haunting the boardrooms of Republic Records. Our investigation into Angelina's recent business moves reveals a shocking separation from the corporate machine. While most artists would give anything to be on the same roster as Taylor Swift or Drake, Jordan has reportedly reclaimed her masters and gone completely independent. This exposed business strategy is unheard of for someone of her age and stature. Rumors are swirling that the clash began over creative control, with the label pushing for a more mainstream, TikTok-friendly pop sound, while Angelina insisted on staying true to her dark, jazzy roots. By walking away, she has effectively gambled her entire career on her own terms. This move to independence isn't just about the music, it's about the money. Analysts suggest that by owning 100% of her rights, she is quietly becoming more financially dominant than many of her peers who have massive radio hits but tiny royalty checks. This secret wealth has allowed her to fund her own high-end productions, including her latest cinematic music videos, without answering to a single executive. But the industry doesn't like it when a star goes rogue. There are whispers that major radio stations are being pressured to shadowban her new tracks as a warning to other artists who might think about following her lead. The stakes couldn't be higher as she prepares to launch her 2026 global tour. She is essentially an army of one, fighting against a system that wants to mold her into something she refuses to be. Behind the serene smiles and the soulful melodies lies a dark legal battle that forced the star into a period of total radio silence. Shocking court documents recently surfaced regarding a massive conflict between Angelina and NRK, Norway's national broadcaster. The controversy stems from her sudden and mysterious withdrawal from the Eurovision selection process, a move that left an entire nation confused and angry. NRK reportedly filed a claim for over 130,000 NOK, alleging a breach of contract that damaged the production's integrity. But the real story is much more concerning. Legal representatives for Jordan finally broke their silence, hinting at grave security concerns and personal threats that surfaced during the pre-production phase. It appears that the pressure of representing a country on such a massive scale brought out a dark side of the fandom, leading to accusations and harassment that made it impossible for her to safely continue. This forced her to ghost the public eye for nearly 6 months in 2025, leading many to believe her career was over. During this time, she was reportedly living under a pseudonym in the United States, working with high-level security to ensure her safety. This hidden chapter of her life explains why she has become so protective of her privacy and why she rarely does live interviews anymore. The psychological toll of being a public target since childhood is finally being revealed, and it paints a much grittier picture of her life than the glitzy AGT stage ever suggested. While the legal matter has since been settled quietly behind closed doors, the emotional scars remain, influencing the darker, more haunting themes of her 2026 album, Secret of Love. Can a voice this powerful actually be its own worst enemy, or is Angelina Jordan pushing her physical limits toward a total shutdown? Medical experts and top-tier vocal coaches have been exposed to her recent live performances, and their consensus is a mix of awe and genuine fear. Angelina's signature sound, that gravelly, low-frequency soul, is technically a miracle for someone in their early 20s. However, specialists are sounding the alarm about the sustainability of her technique. Some suggest that the strain required to produce that specific raspy texture could lead to permanent vocal fold damage if she doesn't scale back her performance schedule. This warning comes at a time when she's booking more dates than ever before. There are speculations that the reason she takes long breaks between tour isn't just for mystery, but for mandatory vocal rest prescribed by specialists in Los Angeles. This hidden struggle with her physical instrument adds a layer of tragedy to her success. The very thing that made her famous could be the thing that eventually forces her into early retirement. Fans have noticed that in recent unfiltered streams, her speaking voice sounds significantly deeper, leading to rumors of nodes or internal scarring. Despite these concerns, Angelina continues to lean into her unique sound, refusing to adopt a safer or more generic singing style. She seems to be operating under the philosophy that it's better to burn out brilliantly than to fade away into the safe background of the industry. As she prepares for her upcoming world tour, the question isn't just if she can sell out arenas, but if her voice can survive the intensity of a 100-show run. Every performance now feels like a high-wire act where everything could change in a single note. Most people think her barefoot performances are just a quirky fashion choice, but the reality is a heartbreaking story that she rarely discusses in public. To understand why Angelina Jordan shocks the world every time she steps on stage, you have to look at the ground beneath her feet. This isn't a gimmick or a branding move. It's a tribute to a harrowing encounter she had as a 6-year-old child in Asia. After meeting a young girl living in extreme poverty who had no shoes, Angelina gave her own away and made a solemn vow to never perform with shoes on until every child in the world had them. This secret promise has become her North Star, keeping her grounded in an industry that is notoriously shallow and narcissistic. However, this tradition has caused its own set of conflicts with major venues and televised productions. We've learned that several high-profile award shows actually denied her performance slots in the past because their insurance policies wouldn't allow a barefoot artist on a stage filled with pyrotechnics and electrical wiring. Rather than sell out and put on a pair of designer heels, Angelina simply walked away from the opportunities. This stubborn commitment to her values is what truly shocks those who work with her. It reveals a level of integrity that is almost non-existent in the modern influencer era. While other stars are focused on clout and brand deals, she is focused on a mission that started over a decade ago. It makes her more than just a singer, it makes her a symbol of something much deeper. As she moves into this new, more independent phase of her life, this story is being reshared by a new generation of fans who see her not just as a talent, but as a revolutionary force in a world that desperately needs something real.